subject of persecution is often sidelined. But according to 2 Timothy 3:12, everyone who wants to lead a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted. Believers need to be prepared and engaged. Jesus prepared his disciples, and he shares that in John 16:1-4. And today, Christian parents, teachers, pastors, and other leaders must take responsibility for preparing those in their care. That is why 14 churches from various denominational backgrounds have come together to conduct the IANA, I Am Not Ashamed 2015 Missions Conference, which begins Wednesday, March 11th through Sunday, March 15th. All sessions will be hosted at Evangelistic Temple on Collins Avenue. I'm excited because as a church leader and member of the IANA Planning Committee, I know our congregations will benefit greatly from the schedule of the most gifted leaders in the field of global evangelism and missions in the world. We have secured the best for you because what is happening with global evangelism, and particularly with the suffering church, is the business of every believer. So clear your schedules. Make it a point to get educated so that you can better respond to the call of Christ. Persecution of Christians is at an all-time high. In an interview with the BBC Sunday Hour, Prince Charles spoke of his deep concern for the suffering of Christian churches in the Middle East.
I have for some time now been deeply troubled by the growing difficulties faced by Christian communities in various parts of the Middle East. It seems to me that we cannot ignore the fact that Christians in the Middle East are increasingly being deliberately targeted by fundamentalist Islamist militants. Christianity was literally born in the Middle East, and we must not forget our Middle Eastern brothers and sisters in Christ.
We want you educated, so please watch this video from the World Watch Organization on the way persecution is inflicted on believers around the world.
The fact is, every day of the week, in at least 60 countries, people are persecuted because of their belief in Jesus Christ. The question is, where are these people? How severe is their suffering? Who is persecuting them? Is their situation improving or declining? To answer these questions and others, Open Doors International has been gathering data for more than 50 years. The result today is the World Watch List. This has become the best known, most widely accepted, authoritative source of information about the persecuted church. The World Watch List is compiled through extensive research at a field level. The list represents measurements that include places believers are being smashed through violent means, as well as places the church is being squeezed out of existence. Through a complex scoring grid, the World Watch List takes into consideration which kind of Christians are being persecuted. It accounts for where this is occurring, as well as its level of intensity in any given country. These factors are then incorporated by viewing persecution within 5 spheres of daily life. Private life refers to a person's freedom of thought and conscience in their own space. In many of the countries on the list, persecutors interfere in the private life of the individual. In China, there is freedom to be a Christian at home, but those who outwardly demonstrate their faith can face punishment at the hands of the government. In North Korea, the state seeks to deprive the Christian of the right to follow Jesus in any way, public or private. The act of believing in Jesus is outlawed. Family life expresses the pressures Christians experience within the family sphere, where persecutors seek to stop the spread of faith by whatever means they can. Most often, it is seen where families will disown, threaten, physically abuse, or even kill a family member who becomes a Christian. In Islamic states, this attack is often condoned by local or national law. Community life refers to the pressure on Christians to freely live their faith in the community sphere. But in cases where believers are dispersed into a hostile neighborhood, they are more susceptible to persecution from locals, angry mobs, or even authority figures. Christians are at high risk, even within their own neighborhoods, in places like Pakistan or Colombia. National Life tracks the extent to which Christians are free to participate in civil society and public life. In Iran, the primary persecution Christians experience often comes from the state and far less from the family or community. Church life measures the limits placed on Christians to gather together, even secretly, to express their faith as a group. Additionally, the World Watch List takes into account hotspots of physical violence against Christians, profiling the communities where the most violence occurs. Christians in Orissa, India, face far more violence than those living in New Delhi. The World Watch List. It's not simply a compilation of statistical data. It is a global expression of the realities of persecution faced by individuals who have decided to follow Jesus. It enables the world to watch. It enables believers to pray. When one Christian suffers, we are all impacted by it.